Hey everyone, thanks for watching. In today's video, I will be showing y'all 5 different Dollar Tree DIYs. So we're just gonna jump right into this video. First up, I'm gonna show y'all how to make this skeleton candle holder. What you will need are 2 of the plastic skeletons, 2 pot bottoms. This and the spray paint are the only 2 things not from the Dollar Tree. But this bottom was only 78 cents, and I did end up using 2 for this DIY. A pillar candle, and as you can see, the Dollar Tree carries these flameless ones. The first thing I'm going to do is spray paint the bottoms, and while those dry, I'm going to go ahead and glue the skeleton heads together. You want to hold it in place for a few minutes to be sure that the glue is nice and dry. Once that and the spray paint has dried, I am flipping the pot bottom over and I'm adding the skeleton heads right on top. I'm gonna add some hot glue to that and hold that in place a few minutes. Once that's dry, I am adding the top. As you can see, I'm using this one right side up, and I'm going to place that on the top. This is gonna hold our candle once it's all finished. So as you can see, I'm using hot glue for this as well, and I'm going to hold that in place a couple minutes. Once you add your candle right on top, this is how it looks. I absolutely love how this one turned out, and it was also super quick to make. Next up, I'll be showing y'all how to make these mason jar candy holders. What you will need are 2 of the canning jars from the Dollar Tree, a candlestick holder if you do want to make a raised jar, and if you do end up using that, then you will need the spray paint. Next up, you need some candy. I just chose these because they were black and orange. You will also need some ribbon and some hot glue. I'm going to spray paint my candle holder. And while that dries, I'm going to work on the jars. So first I'm adding the chocolate, and then I'm folding my ribbon since it was pretty thick, and I'm tying that around the top of the jar. So you can just leave it as is, or you can use a candle holder to raise your jar up. So once it is dry with the spray paint, I'm going to add the glue and put my jar right on top. I'm adding the ribbon to the bottom part of this one, and this is how these turned out. These would also make really cute gifts. You can add the lid right on top and give it away. Next up, I'm going to show y'all how to make this one. All you will need is a stick. I literally just picked this down from one of my trees from outside. You will need a long vase, some hot glue, 2 of these fake birds, and some reindeer moss. First, I'm adding a little bit of moss into the jar, and then I'm adding the stick and some more moss right around it to hold it into place. Following that, I am adding the birds. They do come with a little bit of wire on the bottom so that you can wrap them around the branches. And since the stick was pretty long, it wasn't staying too well in place, so I did add a bag of these Pebbles that I also got right at the Dollar Tree to the bottom to keep the stick more secure into place. And then I just added the moss right on top of that. Now I'm just adding little patches of the moss all around the branches, so I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue and sticking some of the moss right onto it. And once you're done that, you are finished with this DIY. You can also put them into a mason jar if you would prefer it to be shorter. Next, we're going to do the 2 wreaths. So this is the first one, and what you'll need are 7 of the skulls. One of these wreaths, which they do sell from the Dollar Tree, but mine was sold out, so I did have to get mine from Joann's, and it was only $2. You will need some hot glue, some skeleton tongs, and a wreath holder. This they also sell at the Dollar Tree, and mine again was out, so I had to get mine on Amazon. The first step is mapping out where you want to put your skeletons to see how many you need. And then I already did the first 2 because I was trying to get a good method down. I place the skeleton where I want to glue it down, flip it upside down, and I add little marks as to where add the glue and stick it right into place. I hope this makes sense. It's probably a lot easier for you to watch what I am doing for this part. But that's what I'm going to do for all of the rest of the skeletons. Just mark where the skeleton touches the top and the bottom wire and just adding a whole bunch of glue to the back. You also do want to hold each one in place for a couple minutes to be sure that your hot glue dries nice and secure. And once I finished that, I flipped it upside down and I added a bunch more hot glue to be sure that they were extra secure and that they don't fall off or anything like that. Once that dried, I added the wreath holder, and then I added the skeleton tongs right on top to make it look like it's holding the wreath up, and I added some hot glue to secure it into place. And this is how it looked once I was finished. I love how this one came out, and I love the effect of the arm. So that's the same thing that I ended up doing for this second wreath. As you can see, what you will need are some fake roses, the other arm, it does come with a 2-pack, some fake chain, creepy cloth, and some fake eyeballs. And then my wreath, again, mine was out, so I did have to get this from Joann's, and I believe this one was about $2 or $3 with my coupon. First up, I'm going to wrap a little bit of the cloth around one of the sides of the wreath. And really, there's no perfect right or wrong way to do this. This is a Halloween wreath, so really the messier the better. Once I wrapped it around, I just added some glue to hold the end into place. And now I'm just adding a skeleton to the side, so I added a bunch of glue and I am sticking that into place. After that, I added a piece of the chain. Once I placed it where I wanted, I added some more hot glue just to be sure that it was really secure and that it won't fall off. And throughout making this wreath, I did keep lifting it up to be sure that nothing was falling or hanging sideways, and if it was, I did go back and add more glue. Now I'm taking the roses off of the stems and I'm gluing an eyeball inside of the rose. And now I'm just seeing where I want to place it, and I'm adding some glue to the back of the rose and securing that into place. I did end up adding 3 roses, and then like I said, I kept going back and adding some more glue as needed just to be sure everything was on there as secure as possible. And once you're finished that, you are done with this wreath, and that is all 5 of my Dollar Tree DIY decoration ideas. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye guys!